In the cold vastness of space, a sleek alien ship glided silently. Its metal skin gleamed faintly under distant stars. Inside, a group of explorers stared at glowing screens. They had traveled far, crossing countless star systems. Their mission was clear: find new worlds to add to their empire. Many planets had fallen to their might, easily conquered and claimed. Yet this mission felt different. The captain, a tall figure with dark, shimmering skin, studied the data carefully. His eyes narrowed as he examined one particular signal. It came from a small blue planet in a quiet solar system. The readings were unusual. The planet's classification was labeled Class 13 Deathworld. This term was dreaded across the galaxy. It meant the world was deadly, full of hazards that had stopped many empires before. Only the bravest or most foolish dared set foot on such places. The alien crew exchanged uneasy glances. One scientist, with bright, glowing eyes, explained the meaning behind the term. Class 13 means extreme environmental dangers, lethal weather, poisonous air, aggressive creatures, and unstable terrain. Few survive long. Conquering such a world costs more than it gains. The captain tapped the console. But the planet's resources are rich. Minerals and energy sources worth millions. The crew debated quietly. Should they risk everything for such a prize? The ship's AI, an advanced system with a calm voice, interrupted. Additional signals detected. Unidentified energy emissions. Patterns do not match any known species. The captain frowned. What could this mean? The team began scanning, more deeply. Images of the planet's surface appeared. Swirling oceans, dense forests, towering mountains. Strange flashes of light pulsed near the poles. The sensors picked up signals that felt alive. Yet no known life forms had ever created such patterns. Something else lived here. Something unknown. One officer voiced concern. We have faced dangerous planets before, but never one with mysterious signals like these. It could be a trap. The captain, however, was firm. Our empire needs this planet. We will investigate. Prepare a small scouting team. As the ship moved closer, sensors recorded the planet's atmosphere. Toxic gases filled the air, and violent storms swept across continents. Lightning storms burned the skies in blinding flashes. The terrain shifted with earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. This world was a constant battle against nature itself. Still, the strangest part was not the wild weather or dangerous animals. It was the life forms below. The readings suggested highly advanced beings living within this chaos. Their technology seemed primitive, yet they manipulated their world in ways no one expected. They survived and even thrived, despite the deadly conditions. The crew could not understand how. The captain called a meeting. This planet is unlike any we have encountered. Our maps show no other race able to live here. They must be weak. But their signals confuse us. One analyst showed a map of recent attacks on the scouting ships from small but organized forces. They are not weak. They fight with intelligence and courage. The crew grew restless. Some wanted to retreat, fearing the unknown. Others wanted to push forward, driven by greed and pride. The captain weighed every option carefully. In the end, he made his decision. We will send a reconnaissance party. They will gather information and test our strength. The Empire's future depends on this. As the ship's landing craft prepared to descend, the crew prepared for what awaited them. They had weapons and technology far beyond any other known species. Yet, the planet tested even their most advanced tools. Sensors flickered and jammed. Communication became difficult. The environment itself seemed to resist their presence. The scouting team landed in a dense jungle filled with strange plants and deadly insects. The air was thick and humid, making every breath a challenge. Creatures moved in the shadows, some too fast to see, others too large to ignore. Every step brought new dangers, hidden pits, aggressive animals, and poisonous spores. The team advanced, cautiously, knowing that one mistake could be fatal. Despite the peril, they collected samples and scanned the area. The readings puzzled them. The planet was alive in a way they had never seen. Energy flowed through the soil and trees, connecting everything in a web of power. The natives, it seemed, had learned to live with this energy, shaping their lives. Around it, suddenly the team's leader spotted movement ahead. A group of humans appeared, armed with simple tools but moving with purpose. They did not seem afraid. Instead, they watched the aliens calmly, unblinking. The humans' eyes held a strange determination, one that told the aliens this would not be an easy conquest. The scouting team hesitated. The humans spoke a strange language but made no hostile move. Instead, they smiled, a cold, fearless smile. The captain's voice crackled through the calm. "Report. What do you see?" The leader's reply was simple. "They are ready. We are not just facing a Deathworld, we face its masters." Back on the ship, the captain stared at the glowing map of Earth. The planet was more dangerous than they had thought. It was a challenge unlike any before. And the humans? Humans were a puzzle wrapped in mystery and power. The galaxy might soon learn that Earth was no ordinary Class 13 Deathworld. A low hum echoed in the ship's hull as the AI spoke again. "Warning. Unknown threat level detected. Humans exceed expected survival parameters. Proceed with extreme caution." The captain nodded slowly. This mission had just begun, and the fate of many would depend on what happened next. The moment the alien ship slipped into Earth's orbit, the planet's defense systems sprang to life. High above the clouds, satellites and military radars blinked warnings to control centers around the world. Humans watched the skies with sudden alert, their eyes wide with a mixture of fear and determination. For centuries, they had dreamed of meeting others in the vast universe. But now, the reality was here, and it was far from peaceful. At a command base deep underground, officers gathered around glowing screens. Alarms echoed as incoming objects were identified. Several sleek dark vessels moving with silent precision. The general in charge, a woman with sharp features and calm eyes, barked orders. "Prepare the fighters. Activate the defense grid. This is not a drill." Inside the first squadron's cockpit, pilots strapped themselves in with steady hands. Their machines were smaller, but faster than the enemy's ships. They had trained for moments like this, though none expected to face such advanced technology. Yet, confidence filled their hearts. They believed in human skill, ingenuity, and the will to protect their home. The aliens made their first move by sending drones to test Earth's defenses. These machines hovered like dark clouds, scanning and probing. But the humans had anticipated this. A sudden burst of energy weapons struck the drones, causing them to explode in flashes of blue light. The pilot who fired smiled, feeling the rush of success. "Drones down," he said simply. Meanwhile, the alien commanders watched from their bridge, surprise flickering on their faces. Their sensors had never encountered such resistance so quickly. "They are more prepared than we expected," one officer muttered. "Their technology is primitive, but their tactics are clever." An alien strategist stepped forward. "We must adapt. Our strength lies in our numbers and firepower. We will overwhelm them before they can react." The captain nodded, signaling for a full assault. Back on Earth, the pilots executed complex maneuvers, dodging lasers and missiles. They worked together like a well-oiled machine, communicating through short bursts of radio chatter. Left flank. Incoming fast, one warned. Cover me while I line up a shot. Every moment tested their skills, but their determination never wavered. In the midst of battle, a strange transmission interrupted the alien ships. It came in an unfamiliar code, mixed with humor and sarcasm. Something no alien had prepared for. The humans used intercepted frequencies to send messages, confusing the attackers with jokes, insults, and bravado. One message said simply, "Welcome to Earth. Hope you brought more than weapons." This unexpected tactic unsettled the aliens. They had never seen an enemy fight with such boldness and spirit. One young officer frowned, whispering, "Their minds are different. They fight not just with weapons but with pride." The human pilots felt the energy rise. It was more than a fight. It was a statement. They were protecting their home, their families, their future. The roar of engines and flashing of weapons painted the night sky in a wild, chaotic dance. Despite being outnumbered, humans struck hard. They used the environment to their advantage, flying through canyons, weaving between skyscrapers, and hiding in storms. Their weapons were designed to adapt quickly, changing frequencies and power to bypass enemy shields. Each hit felt like a victory, each retreat a chance to plan a stronger attack. On the alien bridge, tension grew. "They are unpredictable," the captain said, gripping the edge of the console. "This is not a simple invasion." The crew scrambled to recalibrate, but the humans' speed and cleverness frustrated them at every turn. Suddenly, one of the human fighters unleashed a new weapon, a pulse that temporarily disabled the alien ship's communication systems. Confusion spread through the alien ranks. Without orders, many ships hesitated, losing formation and allowing humans to press their advantage. The alien strategist's face grew pale. "They have technology we did not expect. This changes everything." The captain's voice grew sharp. "Regroup. We will not lose this battle." On Earth, civilians watched the sky with awe and fear. The news channels broadcast live images of the aerial fight, blending fear with hope. Children clutched their parents' hands, inspired by the bravery of those defending the world. Meanwhile, in a secret laboratory, scientists worked frantically to analyze alien technology left behind after the skirmish. Their faces lit by glowing screens, they discovered clues to enemy weaknesses. The findings hinted at the aliens' dependence on complex systems vulnerable to human ingenuity. The military leaders gathered to discuss the next move. "We cannot allow this to escalate," one said. "But we must show strength." The general nodded. "We will strike hard, but carefully. Our goal is to protect, not destroy." The humans' counterattack was swift and precise. Using data from scientists, pilots targeted critical alien systems. They avoided unnecessary destruction, focusing on disabling enemy capabilities. The battle turned in favor of Earth's defenders. Yet, the humans did not underestimate their foes. They knew the aliens would return, stronger and more prepared. But this first contact had taught both sides a valuable lesson. Earth was no easy prize. In a hidden alien command room, the captain stared at a holographic image of Earth. "This planet is unlike any we have faced," he said quietly. "Its people fight with fierce will and surprising technology. We must rethink our plans." One officer asked, "Are they truly so dangerous?" The captain's eyes narrowed. "Not just dangerous. They are something new. Something we have not yet understood." Back on Earth, as the sun rose after the battle, people stepped outside to see the sky clear. The world had changed. The presence of aliens was no longer a distant fear, but a reality that tested humanity's limits. Among the crowd, A young pilot looked up with determination. He knew the fight was far from over. But Earth's defenders were ready. They had shown that even against powerful enemies, the spirit of humans could not be broken. The battle for Earth had begun, and the galaxy would soon discover that this planet was guarded by more than just harsh nature. It was protected by a people who refused to give up, no matter the cost. In the depths of their command ship, alien scientists gathered around a large, glowing table. The holographic image of Earth rotated slowly before them. Their faces showed a mix of confusion and awe. The planet's harsh environment baffled their experts. Every new piece of data challenged what they thought they knew about survival and adaptation. One researcher pointed to the swirling storms on the map. These tempests rage with such force that entire continents are reshaped over decades, she explained. Most species would be wiped out by even a single one. Her voice was steady but held a hint of disbelief. Yet life here not only survives, it thrives. A biologist examined the data on the local creatures. Radiation levels alone are enough to destroy most cells. The soil contains toxic chemicals lethal to our kind. But these beings have evolved defenses we cannot explain. He tapped the screen, highlighting images of animals with thick skins, sharp claws, and strange glowing patterns. Their bodies heal fast. Some can even regenerate lost limbs. This is beyond normal evolution. Another scientist shifted the display to show human cities. Despite the planet's chaos, these humans build complex structures, harness energy, and protect themselves against nature's fury. Their technology blends with their environment instead of replacing it. They have learned to live with the Deathworld instead of fighting it. The lead scientist furrowed his brow. Our classification system might be wrong. If Earth is a Class 13 Deathworld, it is the most extreme example we have ever recorded. Some data even suggests it edges closer to a Class 14. Class 14 was a category reserved for worlds where survival bordered on the impossible. Only a few creatures anywhere in the universe could endure such harshness. To call Earth that meant admitting humans were something extraordinary. The scientists looked at each other in silence. No one wanted to speak the obvious truth. Humans were different. Meanwhile, far below the atmosphere, humans carried on their daily lives amid the planet's dangers. In deserts where the sun burned the earth to cracked dust, nomads moved swiftly, hunting and gathering with skills passed down through generations. Their bodies were toughened by heat and hunger, making them survivors of the harshest conditions. At the poles, where icy winds sliced through the air, other groups built shelters strong enough to withstand frozen storms. They wrapped themselves in thick layers and navigated treacherous glaciers. Their eyes were sharp against the glare, and their spirits remained unbroken. In deep forests where shadows cloaked every step, hunters moved silently. They understood the habits of dangerous beasts stalking the underbrush. Their weapons were simple but effective. Every arrow and trap was the result of careful thought and experience. Across vast oceans, sailors braved violent storms and towering waves. Their ships were sturdy, built to withstand nature's wild moods. They charted courses by stars and currents, learning secrets of the sea that no alien scanner could detect. The planet's dangers were many. Earthquakes that shattered cities, volcanoes that sent rivers of fire rushing down mountainsides, diseases that struck quickly and fiercely. But humans adapted. Their immune systems fought off infections others would fall to instantly. Their minds found solutions others never imagined. On the alien ship, reports showed strange signs deep in Earth's jungles. Large groups of humans appeared to work together in coordinated ways, building complex networks of communication and defense. Their societies were strong, relying on trust and cooperation in a hostile world. The scientists studied this carefully. Pack bonding, one whispered. It is rare to see such social strength outside of a few species. The ability to unite and protect each other made humans a force beyond physical strength alone. A technician brought up historical data from Earth's surface. Wars, natural disasters, and constant struggles had shaped humanity over thousands of years. The planet was a crucible, forging its inhabitants into fighters, thinkers, and survivors. Their history is written in scars and triumphs, the technician said quietly. The lead scientist stared at the images of human faces, some tired, some fierce, but all determined. This planet is alive, and so are its people. They have mastered the Deathworld in ways we cannot comprehend. Suddenly, the ship's sensors detected a burst of energy coming from a human city. The readings showed unusual power sources harnessed directly from the environment. Unlike the alien technology, which relied on complex machinery, humans tapped into natural forces with surprising efficiency. An engineer leaned forward. Their power systems are not just advanced, they are innovative. They turn the planet's dangers into advantages. He showed diagrams of energy grids powered by wind, heat, and even the planet's magnetic field. The room fell silent. The implication was clear. Humans were not victims of their world, but its masters. The lead scientist voiced what everyone feared to admit. Earth is not just a death world. It is a proving ground for a species unlike any we have seen before. The risks of conquest are immense. Outside the ship, Earth's wild weather continued its endless dance. Thunderstorms lit the sky in dazzling displays. Hurricanes roared over oceans, and deserts shimmered with heat. Yet beneath this fury, life pulsed with relentless force. A group of humans gathered around a campfire deep in a forest. They spoke quietly, planning for the days ahead. Their leader, a woman with keen eyes and calm strength, watched the stars. She knew threats lurked beyond the sky, but fear did not rule her heart. Instead, she felt a fierce pride in their resilience. Earth has tested us for generations, she said softly. We have learned its language, its moods, and its secrets. We survive not because the world is easy, but because we refuse to surrender. Her companions nodded, understanding that their struggle was far from over. The planet would keep challenging them, but they would meet every test head-on. Back on the alien ship, the captain received the scientist's report. His expression was grim. This is no ordinary target. We underestimated humanity's strength and connection to their planet. He looked out the window at the swirling storms below. If we wish to conquer this death world, we must prepare for a battle unlike any before. The price will be high. The crew understood the weight of his words. Earth was more than a dangerous place. It was home to a people who had turned death into survival, weakness into strength, and chaos into order. As the ship set a new course, the stars seemed to whisper a warning. Earth's secret was not just its environment. It was the spirit of those who called it home. The sun hung low over the jagged horizon as the small alien scouting party made their cautious descent. They had slipped through the thick clouds and crashing storms to reach Earth's surface, where survival itself was a test of will. Their sleek ships touched down quietly amidst towering trees and tangled underbrush. The air was thick with humidity and the scent of earth after rain. Every breath was heavy, every step uncertain. These aliens were confident. Their technology far surpassed what the local creatures had, and they believed their weapons and armor would keep them safe. But Earth was different. It challenged their assumptions at every turn. As the scouts stepped out, the forest around them whispered with life. Strange birds called above, while unseen creatures rustled in the shadows. The ground was uneven, tangled with roots and rocks, making progress slow. The party advanced carefully, scanning for threats. Suddenly, a movement caught the eye of one scout. A figure darted between the trees with unnatural speed and silence. Before anyone could react, a human emerged, gripping a spear fashioned from sharp metal. His eyes gleamed with alertness, calm yet fierce. Without hesitation, he raised the weapon and hurled it with deadly precision. The spear struck a drone, hovering nearby, sending it crashing into the forest floor. The scouting party froze. The humans were no simple primitives. They moved like hunters, silent and deadly. Another human appeared, armed with a makeshift bow, firing arrows that found their marks with surprising accuracy. The aliens scrambled for cover, caught off guard by the sudden attack. One scout tried to call for reinforcements, but his communication device sputtered and died. The dense canopy interfered with signals. Panic flickered in his eyes. The humans were disrupting their technology even before a true battle had begun. The alien leader raised his plasma rifle, but a sharp whistle cut through the air. Suddenly, dozens of humans appeared from all sides, encircling the scouts. They moved with coordination, speaking in low voices, their faces determined and fearless. Their weapons were crude compared to alien technology, but their tactics were anything but simple. The humans closed in, setting traps with wires that emitted electrical shocks. One scout stepped on a hidden trigger and was thrown back by a sudden burst of energy. Another was caught in a net that tightened around him like a living thing. The aliens struggled against these primitive tools, powerless against the humans' cunning. "Retreat!" the leader shouted, but the humans pressed forward relentlessly. They hacked into the downed drones, using alien tech against its owners. With quick fingers and keen minds, they reversed controls and set devices to self-destruct, shaking the scouts' confidence. Far from the battle, a group of human engineers monitored the fight from a hidden base. Their faces were calm but focused, as they guided their fighters through secure comm channels. These engineers had studied alien technology closely, learning to disrupt signals and turn enemy strengths into weaknesses. One young woman pointed to a screen. "The drone's control frequency is vulnerable here," she explained. "We can jam their systems and force them to malfunction. Timing is crucial." Another engineer nodded and adjusted the settings. Almost immediately, the alien machines began to falter, their movements erratic and weak. The scouts' advantage slipped away. On the ground, the humans continued their guerrilla tactics. They used the forest to their benefit, disappearing among the trees and attacking from unexpected angles. Each encounter tested their courage and wit. They communicated with hand signals and whispered commands, always thinking several moves ahead. One human warrior, a man with scars that told stories of many battles, led a charge that stunned the aliens. He used a combination of martial skill and environmental traps to take down heavily armed foes. His team followed without hesitation, inspired by his bravery. The alien scouts found themselves outmatched not by sheer power, but by human ingenuity. Every tool they had was countered by a clever human solution. Where advanced weapons failed, simple traps succeeded. Where technology faltered, quick thinking prevailed. The forest echoed with the clash of forces, but the humans never lost their calm. They adapted to every change, learning from each encounter and growing stronger. Their connection to the land gave them an edge no alien could match. Meanwhile, above the battle, the alien ship orbited silently, its crew watching the unexpected resistance with growing concern. Reports came in from the scouts. Communications were failing, losses were mounting, and human defenses were far more organized than anticipated. The captain frowned as he reviewed the updates. "They are not savages," he muttered. "They are warriors, born of this planet's harshness. Their strength is not in technology, but in spirit and mind." He ordered a full reassessment. We must prepare for greater opposition. These humans will not yield easily. Back on Earth, the humans regrouped after their successful defense. They gathered around small fires, sharing stories and tending to wounds. Their voices were low but filled with hope. They knew the war had only just begun, but every victory counted. One leader looked up at the stars, thinking of the future. "They came thinking we were weak," she said. "But we have something they cannot take. A will to survive and protect what is ours." Her words echoed among her companions. They were ready to fight not just for their homes, but for the survival of their entire world. As the sun set, painting the sky with shades of orange and purple, the humans prepared for what lay ahead. Earth was a death world, fierce and unforgiving, but it had forged its defenders into a force to be reckoned with. The aliens would soon learn that conquering this planet meant more than facing nature. They had awakened a power born of hardship, unity, and unbreakable resolve, and humanity was ready to strike back. Far beyond Earth's skies, in a massive chamber carved from shining metals and glowing crystals, representatives from countless alien species gathered. This was the Galactic Council, the highest authority across many star systems. Each member had come to discuss a pressing matter: the unexpected resistance faced on a small blue planet called Earth. The hall buzzed with low murmurs and tense whispers. Delegates from various worlds leaned forward, their eyes fixed on the large central display showing scenes from the Earth conflict. The images revealed fierce human warriors, strange technologies, and a planet alive with dangers few had dared to face. A tall, cloaked figure rose from the council seats, his voice echoed through the chamber. "We face a crisis unlike any before." Earth was meant to be a minor conquest. Its status as a Class 13 Deathworld warned us of danger, but the strength of its inhabitants far exceeds expectations. A smaller delegate from a desert planet nodded. "Our scouts reported humans striking back with tactics no other species used. They are not just survivors, they are fighters, born of a hostile world and sharpened by its trials." Another council member, her skin shimmering like the surface of a star, added, "Their technology may appear primitive compared to ours, but it is adaptable and cunning. They turn their planet's harshness into a weapon. This is unprecedented." The debate quickly grew heated. Some representatives argued for immediate withdrawal, calling Earth too costly and dangerous. To continue the campaign risks massive losses, one warned. "We cannot afford to waste resources on a single planet, no matter its value." Others insisted that Earth's rich resources and strategic position in the galaxy made retreat impossible. "Victory here means power and influence," a voice countered. "Failure means weakness and loss of reputation. We must double our efforts." The council chamber was divided. Plans were proposed, arguments exchanged, and ancient records examined. Each faction brought their own experience and biases to the table. Some viewed humans as unpredictable barbarians. Others recognized a species with potential allies or dangerous enemies. In the midst of this chaos, a calm voice spoke. The council's chairperson, a wise elder from a peaceful water world. "We must remember this. Underestimating humans has brought us here. Their strength lies not only in force, but in will, unity, and the bond with their death world. We face a new type of challenge." She called for a temporary ceasefire in discussions and requested detailed reports from the field commanders. "Knowledge is our greatest weapon. We must understand our enemy before acting rashly." Meanwhile, back on Earth, humans were preparing for the next phase of this galactic struggle. News of the Council's debate reached the leaders of human forces. They recognized that their planet's defense was no longer a local matter. It had become a symbol of resistance in the universe. In a secure meeting room, commanders gathered around holographic maps of Earth and surrounding space. The lead strategist pointed to areas vulnerable to alien invasion. We must strengthen our defenses, improve communication, and prepare for a larger assault. The Council is planning a massive fleet. A young officer spoke up. Our advantage lies in our adaptability and knowledge of the terrain. We will continue to use guerrilla tactics, combining technology and natural defenses. The invaders will find no easy ground here. Engineers displayed new weapon prototypes that harnessed Earth's natural energy, storms, magnetic fields, and seismic activity. These systems will give us an edge, one explained. We turn the planet's fury into our own. Outside the meeting, civilians worked alongside military personnel. Scientists accelerated research, farmers fortified crops, and ordinary citizens trained in self-defense. The entire world was united in the face of the growing threat. Back in the Galactic Council, the chairperson received the latest updates. The humans have surprised us, she said quietly. We must respect their resolve. She proposed a cautious approach, a diplomatic envoy combined with a show of force. Perhaps there is a way to avoid unnecessary bloodshed. But we must be ready if talks fail. Some members bristled at the suggestion, demanding immediate military action. Others saw wisdom in patience. The council was torn between fear and hope. The envoy team was assembled. Diplomats skilled in negotiation, science, and security. Their mission was to seek understanding, assess humanity's intentions, and prevent a galaxy-wide war. They traveled with an armed escort, aware that Earth was a place where trust was hard-won. As their ship approached Earth, the diplomats observed the planet's beauty and harshness. They noted cities rising among mountains, jungles alive with strange sounds, deserts glowing under the sun's heat. This was a world of extremes, and its people mirrored that reality. The lead diplomat, a calm and thoughtful individual, prepared his team for the meeting. We face a unique species. They have survived what others could not. We must listen carefully and show respect. On the other side, human leaders awaited the visitors with cautious optimism. They knew this could be a chance to explain their perspective, their struggle, and their desire to protect their home. The first meeting was tense but civil. Humans spoke of their history, their connection to Earth, and the dangers they faced. The diplomats listened and shared concerns about peace and mutual survival. However, underlying tension remained. Both sides understood that any misstep could reignite conflict. The future balanced on a knife's edge. Meanwhile, in the shadows of the council chamber, more aggressive factions prepared war plans. They believed negotiation was weakness, and that only total conquest could secure their goals. Earth's fate now depended on the outcome of this fragile diplomacy and the courage of those willing to fight. The Galactic Council's reaction to Earth's hidden danger revealed a universe unprepared for humanity's strength. The small blue planet was no longer just a death world. It had become a symbol of resistance and hope. As stars twinkled beyond the chamber's windows, the council's voices faded into debate and uncertainty. One thing was clear. The galaxy had entered a new chapter, and humans were at its heart. The skies above Earth darkened as alien warships filled the atmosphere, their shadows casting a cold veil over the cities below. The great invasion had begun. Humanity braced for the storm, but even in the face of overwhelming force, they stood unyielding. In the command centers scattered across the globe, leaders coordinated a defense unlike any before. Soldiers prepared with a steady resolve, engineers fine-tuned weapons born of innovation and necessity. The planet itself seemed to pulse with energy, as if ready to aid its protectors in this desperate hour. The first wave struck with thunderous fury. Energy beams sliced through the sky while fighters soared in furious dogfights. Yet humans used the terrain with unmatched skill, weaving through mountains, forests, and urban ruins. They fought not just with technology, but with heart and experience, forged over centuries. On the ground, squads employed guerrilla tactics that baffled the invaders. Ambushes sprung from dense foliage. Traps concealed in rubble snared mechanized units. Humans adapted their weapons on the fly, repurposing alien tech to turn the tide. Every loss was met with fierce determination to win the next battle. Above, the skies were alive with fierce combat. Pilots darted among the enemy fleet, launching precision strikes and then vanishing behind thick clouds. Coordination was key. Teams communicated with silent signals, anticipating enemy moves. The air vibrated with the roar of engines and the crackle of energy weapons. Nature itself seemed to fight alongside the defenders. Storms broke at crucial moments, lightning arcs disabling enemy sensors. The shifting earth swallowed advancing troops in landslides. Swarms of native animals harassed supply lines, forcing aliens into constant vigilance. Earth's fury became a weapon. Amidst the chaos, stories of heroism emerged. A lone pilot held a narrow canyon against waves of attackers, buying time for retreating comrades. Engineers working under fire developed energy shields powered by geothermal vents. Civilians joined the effort, providing supplies, intelligence, and unshakable spirit. The alien commanders, once confident, found their strategies unraveling. Human unpredictability and swift innovation countered every assault. They faced enemies who refused to back down and adapted faster than expected. Frustration grew, leading to harsher tactics and riskier maneuvers. In a pivotal battle near a ruined city, humans orchestrated a masterful defense. Using underground tunnels and fortified positions, they funneled the enemy into kill zones. Explosions lit the night as coordinated strikes tore through invading forces. Victory was hard-won, but it proved humanity's resilience. At the same time, diplomatic channels opened briefly as alien envoys attempted talks, only to find human negotiators unyielding. Trust was fragile, and the scars of conflict ran deep. Both sides knew this war would not end easily. Despite losses, humanity's resolve did not falter. Each victory fueled hope. Every setback strengthened unity. The fight for Earth was more than survival. It was a declaration that this planet and its people would not be conquered. As the battle raged on, the galaxy watched in awe. Earth was no longer a hidden danger. It was a beacon of fierce defense and unbreakable will. The legend of human courage spread far and wide, changing the course of the war and the fate of many worlds yet to come. The battle had left scars across the skies and lands of Earth, but the invaders' retreat was undeniable. Ships that once filled the heavens with menace now fled, their forces broken and scattered. Yet the war's end did not bring peace. Instead, it revealed a new reality. A world forever changed. A planet known across the stars not only as a Class 13 Deathworld, but as the birthplace of a force that refused to yield. In the calm after the storm, the leaders of humanity gathered in a quiet chamber beneath the surface. Faces weary but proud, they discussed the future. The commander, a woman who had guided the defense with unwavering strength, spoke clearly. "We have survived the greatest threat in history, but this victory is not the end. The galaxy now knows our name." Her words echoed through the room. Advisors nodded, aware that Earth's place in the universe had shifted. The planet was no longer hidden or forgotten. It was a symbol, a warning to those who might dare challenge humanity again. Far beyond Earth, the Galactic Council convened once more. The chambers, still filled with tension and uncertainty, buzzed with discussion about the aftermath. Delegates, spoke of the humans' fierce defense and the price paid to contain them. Some admired the resilience shown, while others feared the growing power. An elder representative from a peaceful world addressed the assembly. Earth has become a legend. It stands as a testament to strength born from hardship and unity. We must reconsider our approach to this species, not as enemies to be crushed, but as potential allies or, at least, respected foes. Others disagreed, warning that humanity's tenacity could ignite further conflict. We have seen what they can do when cornered, a warrior species leader argued. To underestimate them again would be fatal. The debate was far from settled, but one truth was clear. Earth had changed the galaxy's balance. Humans had not only defended their world, they had rewritten the rules. Back on Earth, life began to heal. Cities rebuilt themselves, stronger and smarter. Technology advanced rapidly, inspired by both victory and loss. Scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to prepare for what might come next. The planet's harsh nature, once viewed as a barrier, was now an ally in defense. Communities grew closer, bound by shared experience and determination. Survivors told stories of courage and sacrifice, passing lessons to the next generation. Children learned not only history, but the spirit that had saved their world. In remote villages and bustling cities alike, people looked to the stars with a new perspective. The universe was vast and filled with unknowns, but Earth's defenders had shown that no challenge was insurmountable. Their resolve was a light in the darkness. Among the veterans, friendships formed that crossed cultural and geographical lines. They shared memories of battles fought together, of comrades lost and victories won. Their bonds were proof that unity was humanity's greatest weapon. Meanwhile, scouts and explorers prepared for journeys beyond the solar system. Equipped with knowledge and technology born from conflict, they sought to understand the wider galaxy. Their mission was both cautious and hopeful: to learn, to find allies, and to ensure Earth's safety. The planet itself seemed to breathe with renewed strength. Storms still raged, mountains still shook, but the people had grown in harmony with their world. They respected its power, harnessed its energy, and embraced its challenges. One evening, as the sun set over a peaceful valley, a young woman stood on a hilltop, gazing at the stars. She held a small device that projected images of distant galaxies and unexplored worlds. Her eyes shone with dreams of discovery and promise. "We survived because we never gave up," she whispered to the wind. "Our fight is just beginning." Her words captured the spirit of a species shaped by a death world, but destined for more. Earth's story was no longer one of survival alone. It was a tale of hope, strength, and the unbreakable human will. The galaxy watched, waiting for what would come next. Earth's hidden danger had become a beacon, a challenge, and a legend. And humanity stood ready to face the future, united and unstoppable.